Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Kyle. It is our first show of 2022, and I am delighted to see you.
Delighted to see you too. Wow, we've usually there's a nice build to the new year, and we've been shot out of a cannon.
We're off and running, aren't we? Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. Today, everybody, we're going to talk about where we've been, where we're going, where we anticipate the market to go, and it's really good news. So fasten your seatbelts. It's time to talk real estate, right?
Yes.
All right. So I know we have a hard stop at 8 o'clock. So because you've got all kinds of showings.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to talk about statistics, typical statistics. All right. Recap for the Chicago lakefront markets. Oh, and by the way, that's kind of the area that's included in these statistics when I talk about Chicago lakefront neighborhoods. Okay. Median sales price. In the Loop, the median sales price is $380,000. As we've talked about before, it's not as high, for example, as Westtown or near North, because we have some college kids who live here and some smaller condos. Same with near North at 402.5. Lincoln Park, 473.5, and Westtown, 490. They're just... they have bigger units, fewer studios and ones, more twos and threes. If you're looking near West Side and near South Side, both $365,000 median sales price. You may be saying, Edgewater, 236.5. Well, they've got all the condos along the lakefront there that are smaller, and that keeps the median sales price for a condominium down. And Lakeview, 372,750. I know I jumped all over. Let's look at it in total. As goes Lincoln Park, so goes the market. Over the last 10 years, condos have gone up from a median sales price of $305 to today's median sales price of $422.5. Wow. It was a good idea to buy at the trough of 2012. And the number I gave you was actually right here, exactly 10 years ago. So through December of 2011. Now,
so that's the entire lakefront. That's not just Lincoln Park, right?
That's correct. It's the entire lakefront.
Wow.
So let's break it down by neighborhood and talk neighborhood here. Basically, anywhere you bought a condo 10 years ago, you made a good decision. The median sales price for a condominium, as we said, in Lincoln Park is $473,500. 10 years ago, it was $340,000. So your investment would have increased 39%.
Wow.
Lakeview has increased to $372,750, which is up 22%. Uptown, 10 years ago, not many people were interested in buying in Uptown. So the median sales price was $170. Today it's $300, up 76%. Edgewater, $145 10 years ago. Today it's $236.5. So
well, and just a shout out to Edgewater and Uptown. They don't have the high end condo units there. You will never find one for $1 million there. So they don't have this thing pulling up the median sales price. So
that's an interesting comment. Yeah,
it's really interesting, the growth there.
So then let's go a little bit south, more to the center area of downtown Chicago, using Lincoln Park again as kind of the baseline at $473,500. The near North neighborhood, which includes River North, Streeterville, Gold Coast, 10 years ago, $310,000 was the median sales price. Today it's $402.5, up 30%. Now, I find that to be a really interesting statistic given COVID and the fact that everybody said they're fleeing the city. Still a very sound increase. Now, some of that is fueled by new construction and higher prices, but still very fair. Let's go to the near South Side. The median sales price for the near South Side, and that's like the South Loop area, Printers Row, was $235.5. Today it's $365 for an increase of 55%, fueled by, in large part, Museum Park, Central Station, new construction down there. The last 10 years saw the Grant, the Museum Park Place buildings coming up. So that was
But
a
take a
really,
look. Take a look. I apologize for interrupting.
no,
Take a look at that curve from 2014 to today. It's pretty
stagnant.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
So it was down here, and then all those big luxury buildings right at like you know where I'm talking about, like at Roosevelt Road. They all, well, and there were some even farther south than that. Some that related did, but you're right. It's come up a little bit, but it hasn't had the significant increase. You're right.
I think is that related to the fact that so much has come online at the same sort of price level, that it's, they keep building sort of the same building over and over again. I don't know.
Yes, I think that is right. Yeah.
Okay. And the Loop.
The Loop, I left that for last to talk about because that's been a roller coaster. So, with Millennium Park going in, what was it? It opened up 12 years ago or so. Everybody thought that was going to be huge. And of course, we've had the Near East Side, Lakeshore East, with all the development over there going on. Median sales price 10 years ago was $292. Today it's $380, but you'll see it was stagnant and even dipping down in price for a while. And then with I think the St. Regis and the Aqua in the last couple of years, it's really bumped up significantly. So to your point earlier, that you put higher priced properties in, that's going to skew the numbers.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. So this chart we're looking at shows 12-month sales for the last 3 years through December. So it really gives us the picture. We're ahead of Dennis Rodkin on this one.
Love it.
Shout out, Dennis. We love you. Anyway, so in terms of condo units through the end of the year, 14,600. Nice even number. That is up 46% versus last year, which was down a touch because of the kind of the COVID and people,
Well, we lost 2 months. We lost 2 months.
Yeah. Right. And people generally wanted to get out of the city and blah, blah, blah. But but if you look at 14,600 versus 10,006 in 2019, that's still up 40% versus 2 years ago. So in terms of units, huge year in 2021. And as you would expect, with prices going up, volume went up even more.
Well, but here's the thing. I'd like to thank millennials and the low interest rates, because thank you very much. That is why so many units sold.
Yeah.
Anyway, but look at that volume. Wow. Great.
Yeah. Really great. Okay. Number of homes for sale. So this chart mesmerizes me. Can I tell you? 2011 was like the worst since the 2008 crisis, right? Which hits home for me because my husband worked for Lehman. So I lived the 2008 debacle. So, but whenever prices go down, it takes a while because sellers will regret, right? But the most homes on the market was in April of 2011, 7,670. Then, of course, here's COVID, where nobody was buying, right? So we had all these homes on the market, down to 2,658. Okay. No surprise when we have nothing on the market and we have high demand, we've got the month's supply. And look at this. In April of 11, it was 15 months worth of inventory overall. It was even worse in the near north. We're down. Oh, I don't have my number here.
It's condos, just above 2%. It's just above 2.
Yeah, it's 2.4 months.
Wow.
2.4 months. Yeah. And for condo, and keep in mind, this includes Loop and near north, where we saw a significant amount of homes on the market. See, we were up to 8 months of inventory during COVID. We're down to 2.4 months. So now you say, oh, but it's December, but look at all these other Decembers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, put it in perspective. Last December, granted, it was a good market, but it was only 4 months. All right. So I'm ready to check out single family. How about you?
I'm excited about single family.
I know, right? Okay. So most expensive place to buy a single family home today is near North neighborhood with $1,850,000 is the median sales price, followed by Lincoln Park at $1,710,000. We have no single family homes in the loop. That's why nothing is there. The near south side, $1,038,000. Lakeview, $1,375,000. Follow the arrows to the neighborhoods if you're not familiar with the map. Edgewater, $902,000. But let's take a look again at our neighborhoods. Let's give the big number. Single family homes went from 750 at the end of 2011, 750,000. Today, for all the areas, it's 1,187,000. We're up 58%.
Wow.
How about that?
Well, yeah. That's
You know what I think is part of this, which is really an interesting conversation given COVID. I raised my kids in the Chicago public school system. And when my kids were kindergarten age, there were some schools that you would put your child into, but not all that many. Today, there are so many public schools where the parents are involved. They're good neighborhood school, Hamilton, Audubon, as well as the Bell. So I think in large part, families were raising their children in the city. They needed a single family home to do so. Private schools weren't the only answer, is what I'm saying, right? So you had that going on. And look at us today with COVID and what's going on with the Chicago public schools. It's like, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But as you said, then millennials buying helps people move up, right? The first time buyer helps the next guy buy, helps the next guy buy. So 58% increase in value, huge. Okay, let's check it out by neighborhood. All right. So near North neighborhood, 10 years ago, you would have bought a home for $1,575,000 median sales price. Today, $1,850,000 is up 16%. Lincoln Park, the median sales price for a home in Lincoln Park was $1,265,000. Today, it's $1,710,000, up 35%. Lakeview, $987,000 to $1,375,000, up 39%. And look at Westtown. Wow. 606. And if you're not sure where Westtown is, everybody, think Ukrainian Village, Wicker Park, part of Bucktown. 606 to 975, up 60%. And that's the neighborhood where you just are having all kinds of action.
Yes, that's why I'm running out of here right at 8. Yeah.
All right. So where were the hot neighborhoods over the last 10 years? Well, here they are, folks. North Center, and that encompasses Roscoe Village. Yeah, up 45%. Median price today, $1,675. Westtown, 606. Median price today, $975, up 61%. But look at Logan Square. Median sales price for a home in Logan Square 10 years ago was $411,000. Today, the median sales price is $875. It's up 113%. That's where our mayor lives. That's not why the neighborhood is going up in value.
But it was a neighborhood that for a long time languished and then took off. Yeah. And Avondale, look at Avondale. Wow.
Avondale is the news of the marketplace.
Yeah.
$204,000 for a single family home 10 years ago. Today, the median sales price is $505,000. And, again, this is just my gut based on, a few buyers I've had and whatever. But when you have a condominium in the near North neighborhood that you're paying $400,000 for with $1,200 a month assessments, and COVID hits and you want a single family home, you can go to Avondale, buy a single family for $500 to $700 with no assessments, and you're in a house. And I think in large part, that's what happened. People were priced out of Lincoln Park, priced out of Lakeview. So they went to Avondale. So
also, a lot of people are investing in Avondale, buying houses and renting them out. It is a great neighborhood for investors.
Right. Absolutely. I'm going to Whoa.
I know.
I'm
The
going to
sun
change
has
my
come
screen a
out.
little.
Yeah.
I've got this. Yeah, all of a sudden the sun came out. Whoa.
It's affecting me too. Huh?
You're looking. Yeah, maybe I just stay in front of my.
Yeah.
I'll just block the sun with my big noggin. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in with me here. This was a big experiment this morning. All right. Single family home sales in units up 36%.
Mm.
Volume $2 billion in single family home sales in the lakefront market. That's up 49% versus 2020, which was up over 2019.
Yeah. Everyone went to house. Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Okay.
Oh, God.
The most inventory was 10.9 months of inventory of May of 2011. Today, we only have 1.4 months. 1.4 months of inventory. There's nothing on the market, people. Nothing. 746 single family homes in this lakefront pocket. Now they're only 182, and the demand is great.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Incredible news. I mean, everybody, it's scary for people who've sort of said, well, I now need to find a house. I now need to find a condo. And for buyers, it's scary. And you and
Yeah.
I are on TAN, the Top Agent Network, and there are all these buyer blasts looking for this, show me off market things because there's nothing on the market. And the answer is, yeah, there's nothing on the market.
Right. We all have buyers who are just looking for things.
Well,
So
let's talk about what's ahead. And
right.
Ann and I start every year by listening to what the pundits are going to say for our market, what the pundits are saying for our market. And we had a very interesting view from Marcy Russell, who is
Rossley. Yeah.
Russell. I'm trying to pronounce it as whatever. Marcy Russell from who has been on, I think it was CNBC, Squawk Box, very economist, very regarded economist. And she brought us a lot of information that consolidated the views of other economists.
Right.
And so for 2022, she gave us some background against which to look at the national market, and then we as experts think about the local market. So some of the things that the pros are saying are going to affect the national market, which, we're in the national market too. Right. Inflation, interest rates, and labor markets. And if inflation stays high, the Fed's going to have to act aggressively, and aggressive action by the Fed often impacts long-term interest rates. Mortgage rates are long-term interest rates.
Now, she was saying that she believes that we hit the high of inflation in November of last year.
We're going to come to that. Absolutely. So I'm just doing a quick overview. Okay. Interest rates, if it looks like, again, the long-term rates rise significantly, that's going to drive us up. And the labor markets, she was talking about this disruption that we've all experienced, we read about every single day, of people having, the COVID has disrupted people's work, how they want to work, and where they want to work. A lot of people moved, and that's requiring a lot of shakeup in the labor market, and we got to work through it. So the pros are expecting. And
I just had to share this because you were saying this. COVID's disrupting the market. Used to be people stayed in their houses for 6-7 years. Then it was like 9 to 10 years over the last. There's been so much pent up demand, and COVID caused people. This has been the greatest decrease of number of years in a house ever, according to NAR. I just wanted to throw that in there, that also, there was pent-up demand, and COVID did it.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at those years of 10, it was because those were very low interest rate years. And so people were like, yeah, I don't want to move because I've got a great rate. People stayed because, it made sense to stay. So when you look at the 6, people staying for the lesser, those were higher interest rate years. So interest rates affect length of time, but COVID has changed that because, people are, that people got up and left. They wanted to live somewhere else. So the
Right.
pros are expecting, to Ann's point, inflation will drop in 2022, working its way back to the target of 2% per annum. There are myriad reasons, but we're not going to go into that. But it's the indicators, the things that seem to have been driving inflation recently, look like they're working themselves out. This is just what the pros say. Interest rates won't rise too significantly as a result. The long-term rates will not have to go up so much because once we have inflation back under control, there's a bit more calm with the Fed, so there won't be as much Fed action to curtail the money supply, which will drive up interest rates. So that's good. And labor markets will start to shake themselves out once we get to this pandemic, not because it's never going to be over, people, but once it becomes endemic, seasonal flu. And that's probably this year and next year. All of this suggests two pros: that the market may not be at the same level of appreciation, 15% or more, which has been crazy even in Chicago, as 2021, but it'll still be a very good year for real estate. And what are you seeing already?
Oh, well, right. My buyers are out. They want to buy. They can't find what they want. People are planning to buy this year. I think it's going to be a very strong year. I actually, again, I'm going to go back to the slide one more time about interest rates and the projection. We're going to tick up maybe 2 times, I think, this year. These are the predictions from Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, NAR, and the average. And so first quarter, 3.3. We may already be there actually with most.
Yes, I think
because we just had a couple. Yeah. And then, but these are minimal. We're still well under 4. And then I wanted to show you this slide. I think this is a fascinating picture. To your point earlier, Kyle, that interest rates don't always drive the real estate market. Because look how here are the interest rates, and here's the home sales.
Well, because remember, if you've got a low interest rate, you're not really interested in moving.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think we're going to have a very good year. Oh shoot, I got to go back and show you this slide quickly too. Now, I just have all kinds of, me. I love my slides.
They're good.
Check this one out. Home sales forecast. This is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and NAR again. They predict 6.5 million homes nationally were sold in 2020. 22 is going to be great.
So this is nationwide, everybody.
I'm glad you said that. Yes.
But look at that. Some people, what is MBA? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I promise I'll look it up for next week.
One of these people.
It's one of the biggies that we know and love. Yeah. And nationally is mirroring what we're seeing in Chicago, which is that we have not enough inventory, and they're forecasting, typical economic supply and demand, that home price forecasts. The most aggressive is 7.4 nationally, with the least aggressive being NAR, which I think is interesting, at 2.8 nationally for a 1-year price increase. Find that very fascinating. So here, this slide is interesting. This is a Steve Harney slide. Oh, home price expectation survey.
You've got to get rid of the ribbon below just so we can see just if there's something below. There we go. Okay. Wow.
So if you buy a home for $350,000 this year, based on the average home price expectations. Now, again, this is national, but by 2026, that home's going to be worth $461,000, according to pundits. Isn't that interesting? Again, people, this is national, not Chicago, but
But let's also go back to that. Can you put that slide back up?
Sure.
And this is something that note that that is the equity, the growth in equity, people. And that goes to your net worth. A lot of people,
Right.
oh, I can't afford to do it, or I don't want to do it now. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Look at what you are foregoing in terms of growth of your net worth over time. It is never too soon. I mean, yeah, for some people at the margin, it's too soon, but really, you cannot afford to stay out of the market,
Right.
because it hedges your cost, your living expenses. They get set at today's rate. Yeah, there'll be some change due to taxes, but you can't afford not to take this opportunity to start saving this. I mean, that's a growth of $111,000 over 5 years. Incredible, people.
And remember, that's not based on an investment of 350,000. If you're putting down 10%, that's based on an investment of 35,000.
Right.
That's a really good return on investment.
It's a
So
huge return on investment.
yeah. And a hedge, because I don't know about you, but I've been showing some rentals lately. Oh my gosh, the rental market they're taking advantage of the fact that people have been out, oh my gosh, the prices. I just showed a 3-bedroom downtown, $11,000 a month. It's like, whoa, buy,
And
people, buy.
well, but it's also taking advantage of the fact that there's so little inventory.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
anyway, so such good news. Chicago. So Ann and I think that, oopsie, hi. Ann and I think that 2022 is going to be a very good year.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you can be crazy in setting your price, sellers, but it means if you set your price appropriately, it's going to sell well, and you're going to do well.
Right.
So
Right. And it's a good time to buy. Rates may be ticking up, but again, historically they're low. They're not going to stop going up. So it's not going to benefit you to wait.
No.
And there are long-term reasons why you should be in this market. Even in Chicago with some uncertainty, it's a good long-term play. So
absolutely. So
that's it.
I look forward to talking in next week about what's going on in our market and showing you some cool houses and condos and homes, and we're just ready for 2022.
So if you have questions, let us know. We'd love to talk to those questions, and we will definitely look forward to seeing you next week on Monday Morning with Kyle and Ann. Have a good week, everybody.
Thank you.